Hi, my name is Jonathan Bloomberg. I'm here with Microsoft and I'm going to be selling you an Xbox One wireless Elite controller. Go ahead and go to the next slide for me, please. So, product summary, basically using adjustable parts and bumpers and different rubber grips and thumb grips, you can play your advantage against other gamers using a more basic controller like I have here. This is the Ocean Shadow Xbox One controller. Just a little standard that I got from GameStop, about $70. But imagine this controller with rubberized thumb grips, rubberized hand grips. You can set the triggers back here to different, I guess, stopping points. Bumpers, you can't really do anything with those. But then they also sell metal thumb grips and metal back grips back here, so you have basically better control over what you're doing. Go ahead and go to the next slide for me, please. So, like I said, different features. So the different thumb grips, they're interchangeable. So there's metal, there's rubber, and just the standard plastic ones, I guess you could say. They also come with different designs. I've seen hex. I've seen actually just different shapes too. Like I've seen triangles on these, many different things. The bumper pieces that can be added, they would go right back here. Let me come a little closer so you can see that. They come right back here. They mount on there. On the Elite controllers, there's a little bit bigger of a back, so the battery is not getting in the way of that. And as well as the omnidirectional style D-pad. So this right here, let me come back here real quick. This right here will just turn into a full circle like you will see later in the presentation. And that's more for MMO style games or dungeon style games, so you can have precise movements moving from one area to another without having to engage in different battles. And the benefits for one of these, like I said, the thumb grips, they can provide a better advantage on controller handling. So you know what your movements are going to be, and they are better suited for PvP situations. So, like if you're playing an FPS game like Call of Duty, you're going to want that extra mobility and extra handling on the controller. Plus, to go back on the bumper pieces, those are removable and they're interchangeable, so you can do different key bindings and stuff like that. That way you can have a better advantage over players using just basic controllers such as this. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So service and warranty. Not really much of a service on these, I guess. More so basically when parts break. And let's say, here, perfect example. A buddy of mine had a perfectly working controller. I had a standard white Xbox One S controller. And when it broke, I guess, my joysticks here were getting a little loose and my controller was acting up when I was playing. I called up my buddy and said, hey, I know you got an extra controller that you're not using. I was wondering if you could lend me that I could use your thumb grips. He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I had to pop off these pieces here, pop off the top, and then these thumb grips just popped out like a charm. After that, you just put it all back together and it worked perfectly fine. Didn't cost me anything. Now, the warranty, I will say this. With the Elite controllers, you have a 1-year warranty as long as you buy it with the Elite console. Now, if you were to buy it at Best Buy though, which is actually where they sell the console and the controller combined, it actually you can get a 2-year warranty anywhere from $10 to $30. And like I said before, there really isn't any service that you can do besides, hey, phoning a friend or finding another controller on eBay and just replacing parts, which is actually, like I said, just a really easy process. Next slide, please. So the price of the product, I found 4 main sellers. Microsoft, Amazon, and Best Buy coming in the highest at $180. Best Buy, you can get them a little cheaper, refurbished at $160, but I don't really recommend buying the refurbished ones, because everything that I bought refurbished in the past was, well, junk after about a month. But GameStop is honestly your best bet, because see here, coming in at $140, and it's all around just a better deal. Plus, you can get in-store credit if you were to bring something else in. All right, next slide, please. And here we have some of the pictures of the product. So like I said, got a little case for it here. Here's all the different pieces. So you got smaller, you got shorter grips here. the bigger ones, and these are all metal. Some of the bumpers here that would go around the back of the controller over here. And here's your two different D-pads. It comes standard with the green one, the classic Xbox green. And then over here, some of the mounts that we've got here. So these two down here, easily mountable. Like I said, it gives extra room to clear the battery. That we don't have any obstruction from pulling the batteries out. And here's just a bigger view of what's shown over here. So you got the omnidirectional D-pad here, the classic silver D-pad, and you got your bumpers to go on the back of the controller like it shows here. And you got your flat top metal, your rounded top metal, and then your short top, or your short metal with flat top. And honestly, I highly recommend these two or these two, because unless you play PlayStation or computer, I'd recommend using those, just because they're better suited for those kind of players. Like the PlayStation 2 consoles, PS3, PS4, they've all got these ones here, whereas Xbox has always had the ones where it's got a little indentation in there so you can kind of get your thumb in there a little easier. But yeah, overall, we'll go back to slide 2. The product summary. So like I said, just to go back over a few things, very easy to use controller. Yeah, it's a little much to set up, but overall, it's worth it. Especially if you're only paying $140 for that. I know that, let's say you're building a PC, those parts cost a lot of money, and sometimes they will break easily. For example, a buddy of mine just bought a keyboard, used it for 3 months, and it's already breaking on them. So I recommend getting one of these because they are one of the longer lasting items for this console. They also come with stands, extra battery packs, a couple wires for charging that way you don't have to swap out batteries every, I don't know, week or so. Say, batteries in this, I use the little classic Duracell, and they last me about a week. For the wireless Elite controllers, they have a little bit boosted of a battery life, so it lasts about anywhere from a week to a week and a half. So a little bit more extra time on that, but I guess that's what you get for paying the extra, I don't know, $60 to $100 for the controller, because these standard ones are like $70, $80. So, and like I said, the grips, they can give you a better advantage over playing with other players that are using a basic controller. But I personally have not used it. So, I still say that these controllers are easily up there. It's just a matter of getting yourself used to the tech, figuring out what keybinds work for you, and just figuring out all around how well you can play versus a regular controller versus the upgraded keyboard or controller with all the different functions, different binds, and different grips, different thumb grips, different hand grips. Plus, like I said, the trigger stops can actually really help you whenever you're playing something like what is it? Call of Duty Warzone. That's one of the popular games right now. So, yeah, I believe that is all I have for you today. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.